we really don't have anything in particular to talk about this week, but one of the things that I actually did want to talk about is this. I think I may have talked about it briefly before in reference to Zack Snyder. We are kind of in this culture right now where, for whatever reason, people will hate on something for the longest time, and then that same person or someone associated with the thing that was being hated on will do something incredible with the same exact thing, and then the opinion flips and everybody's like, oh, we fucking love this guy now. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. It's called hopping on the bandwagon.
I mean, yeah, that's putting it in the simplest of terms. All right, next week on the Derailed Podcast. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because ever since No Way Home came out, I feel like there has been a huge shift in the way people feel about the MCU Spider-Man movies. And I think it's really fucking weird. Like, as far as I was aware, people really liked fucking Homecoming and Far From Home. I know people considered Far From Home the weaker one. I don't fucking know how. Maybe I'm just a fucking Marvel shill.
I mean, yes. As am I. That's fine.
But, like, yeah, like, I see Far From Home, like, yeah, I understand that it has some flaws and it's a little weird in places, but I enjoy that movie a lot. I fucking, yeah, if honestly I had the choice between watching Homecoming and Far From Home, I'd probably watch Far From Home. Because Far From Home is a solid film in general. Then again, gotta remember, I'm biased. But yeah, I stumbled across this fucking tweet today. And, like, it was someone being like, let's be honest here, and it was a picture of the cover for the first Amazing Spider-Man movie and Spider-Man Homecoming, and then they had like a equal to or greater than sign, I think. You know, the little chomp chomp buggy.
Yes, the alligator mouth.
Yes, the alligator mouth. Why did I call it a chomp chomp buggy? I'm fucking writing that one down.
Because even in the American public health school or the public school system, our health system is fucked anyways.
I mean,
yeah. Public education, we are below average.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it's like, so basically they're saying that, like, Amazing Spider-Man 1 is better than Homecoming. And you know what? That's their opinion. They're entitled to that. And in my completely humble opinion, you're fucking wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely... So for the longest time, I guess... Let me kind of start that statement over. For the longest time, I would say that people that I talked to would be under the impression that I didn't care for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. And while I didn't care for them as movies as a whole, I very much enjoyed the characters that we got out of those movies. Like, I absolutely love Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy. That is still one of my favorite performances.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fucking Dennis Leary as Captain Stacy is brilliant fucking casting. I love that.
Honestly, like, I've been a fan of that man since I was a kid watching The Sandlot.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
That's where I recognized him from. He was the stepdad in The Sandlot.
Was he
gotta keep
really?
your eye on the ball.
Oh my god!
I will fact check it, but I'm like 99% sure that I already looked this up.
I mean, the only reason that I'm like blown away right now is because I literally haven't seen that movie since I was like probably 10, maybe. Like, it's been a long fucking time since I've seen that film.
Yeah, he was in The Sandlot in 1993.
God damn.
I know my shit. I know my faces ever since I was a kid. Like, yeah.
But yeah, like him as Gwen's dad, brilliant fucking casting. I love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Like, to this day, and I will mark this as my point of conjecture here because I know you're going to bring it up as well. I have watched the Cinema Wins videos on both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Has it changed your mind?
It has. So, not on the movies themselves, but it has bettered my opinion of his Peter Parker. I'm still not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about fucking Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker either, though. Like, I think Tobey Maguire played the loser version of Peter Parker much better than Andrew Garfield did. But then again, I can't really give them too much shit because I 100% believe they were using the Ultimate Comics as source material. And in the Ultimate Comics, he's not completely a loser. He is kind of cool. Like,
yeah, he definitely has his moments.
So, yeah, the Cinema Wins video helped my opinion of Peter Parker and just, yeah, because I always loved his Spider-Man. You will never be able to change my mind about that fucking costume. Those eyes are horrendous. I like the overall design of the costume, but just the eyes kill the entire thing for me.
The yellow ones from the first movie?
The yellow ones and super thin. I get that they were kind of trying to go for, like, the original Ditko look, because the eyes were kind of like, did have, like, a yellowish tint to them sometimes. So, yeah, I'm still not crazy on the suit design, but maybe, honestly, you could change the eyes on it, and I would like it a lot more. Actually, let me take a look at that suit, because I'm thinking that it's just the eyes, but I remember not being crazy about that suit at all.
It had one thing it did have that I thought was really neat was like it was very textured. The color was close, but it wasn't quite spot on, and some of the accent areas, like along the palms and the fingertips, kind of threw it off for me.
Okay,
like I get that they were going for a different style, but yeah, it was just a little odd.
So here's what I like and here's what I don't like about it. I like the texturing, but I don't like how many lines there are. Like there's too much going on in the blue section of the suit. You know what I mean? Like the texture was enough. There's too much going on here now.
Yeah.
I don't like how towards the bottom of the spider, after the legs end, the webbed pattern just turns into lines. I'm not crazy about that. I love the hands, though. I really like that. I actually really like the design of the hands.
I thought the hands were a little odd, but that's fine.
See, if you change them white, though, I think you would get the PS4 arms.
You know what? That's fair.
Like, if you changed the hand pieces to white, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you would get. But yeah, so, never been crazy on the suit, but I've always liked how he played Spider-Man. I wasn't the biggest fan of his Peter Parker, but after watching the Cinema Wins video and thinking about the source material that they potentially used, I feel better about it. I'm not crazy about it, but I feel better about it. The movie itself, I remember how angry it made me when I first saw it. Just like I was never crazy about the idea of like his parents being like a big part of the reason he ended up becoming Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, shit. I'm really glad that they didn't end up going with a deleted scene from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Have you heard about this deleted scene?
From Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely need a refresher.
So there's a deleted scene for Amazing Spider-Man 2 where it's the end of the movie where Peter is at Gwen's grave and his dad fucking shows up.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It's like, he's not dead. He's supposed to be dead. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this. But at the same time, I'm just like, with my current emotions about that movie, I wouldn't have been okay with it. Thinking back to the movie and thinking about like other storylines that I've read, that could have been an open door for the Jackal to come into play.
Oh, because what if that I think like that person was a clone.
Yeah, I think it's Richard Parker.
Richard Parker, that's right. Yeah, what if he was a clone?
Yeah, and then you could bring in the Jackal, you could bring in the fucking clones, like.
Okay, on the spot fan casting, who would you want to play the Jackal?
The Jackal?
If they were to throw him into the MCU.
Gary Oldman.
Ooh, that's really good.
Gary Oldman. Yeah.
That's really
like,
good.
that's just off the top of my head. Like, first person that comes to mind when I think who could play that character, Gary Oldman.
But now, would it be the masked scientist, like the new Ben Reilly kind of Jackal, or like the Goblin-esque Jackal from like the older comics?
Well, that Goblin-esque Jackal was originally a man, and that man is the one who created the clones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I just want to see Ben Reilly in live action, man. That's all I'm getting at here.
Oh, dude, same. Same.
That's all I fucking want, man. Like, I think they've made him a villain again in the comics. I kind of fell behind on his solo series just simply because keeping up with monthly comics is hard. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like, it's really hard to remember what specific fucking day your comic comes out on.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, they take breaks and shit like that. And when you're reading a comic, you don't always pay attention to that kind of shit. So, I don't fucking know. But anyways, yeah. I don't understand why I don't know if it has always been around or if it's recent, but there has been a lot of hate on the first two Tom Holland movies.
Yeah, I don't get it, because like oh god, I remember a lot of speculation at the time. It's like, oh yeah, you know, like Civil War was like, even though it was the introduction, it's like oh, was that like his origin, because like that's where, you know, that's where we see him first,
right?
And it's like, no, like really his origin into Spider-Man was Homecoming, and I loved how they did that.
Yeah.
And having the Vulture, like, first off, having a menacing Vulture with why am I blanking on his name? I'm losing
Keaton?
my brain fucking right now. Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Like having him as the Vulture and being like legitimately menacing.
Oh my god.
And kind of a tragic villain, like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like that was brilliant casting. You know, going through it, and like, no, you cannot tell me you can't watch Homecoming. And when he gets the come on Peter, when he's lifting up the vent, it's like, god, no, that is a stand up in your seat and fucking go, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did do that, but just because the main reason I got so excited for that part is because of, like, that is one of my favorite fucking comic panels that they referenced in that scene. Like,
where was that one from?
I don't know what issue it's from, But let me see. Homecoming comic references. There we go. Here it is. Fuck yeah. God, that made that easy. Let's just go ahead over Discord. And can I not just drop this in here? Fuck you! Alright, let's just copy.
Okay, I should have been a little more explicit with the jackal thing. Would you like to see the masked jackal or the goblin jackal, preferably?
I think for
Or
live
would you
action,
like to see both?
I think for live action purposes, I think the masked one would work a lot better.
Mhm.
Like, just personally, I sent the picture over of the comic image that was referenced in that scene.
Oh, that one! I don't remember what issue that is, but I do remember what's going on there. Okay.
But yeah, like that was so fucking exciting for me. And you know, for those of you that are gonna fucking try to come out and be like, oh, well, that's because fucking Homecoming is basically like Iron Man 4, I'm pulling it up right now. Iron Man was not in that movie as much as you people fucking think he was. He was definitely not in that movie nearly as much. He had 15 minutes of screen time in how long of a fucking movie?
At least an hour and a half. Because I mean, that's the target for movies nowadays.
Yeah, at
90
least.
minutes.
Kids'
So
movies,
it's
I think,
probably
can fall
closer to 2
short,
hours.
probably, but
Yeah.
uh,
But yeah, in a roughly 2-hour movie, 15 minutes is not
yeah,
that
2
much.
hours and 13 minutes. So Robert Downey Jr. got as much screen time as the credits did in this movie. So I don't want to hear any fucking thing about how, oh, fucking Spider-Man Homecoming isn't just Iron Man 4. No, the fuck it's not. If anything, fucking, I would honestly, they could really pull a shit move and call Civil War both an Iron Man sequel and a Captain America sequel, because I'm pretty sure they have about equal screen time in that.
And both reveals, or the major reveal hits both sides, and it hits Tony a lot harder.
Right.
Because I mean, that line is iconic. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Yeah.
And it just goes ape shit. Like, yeah.
So let's see.
But yeah, the instances that I remember. So, this isn't a hug. I'm just opening the door for you. There was obviously the empty suit when he's like he's waving over a drink.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, there's a heater built into the suit. And then of course, when he jumps out of the suit with the, if you actually cared, you'd be here. And
oh my god, it's
yeah. If you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve to have it, because he had to learn that the hard way in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he did.
Which is what, like, villains aside, that movie was a big thing because, well, one, the character had, to my understanding, a very realistic depiction of PTSD and dealing with that and learning how, like, even with that, being able to use his strengths as Tony, not as Iron Man.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you got to remember, aside from the Iron Man movies, there was also the Avengers movies happening at the time too. So by the time Homecoming happens, Tony has already dealt with fucking the Chitauri and fucking Ultron.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and by the way, fun fucking fact, the amount of screen time between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers in Captain America Civil War, there is only a difference of 1 minute.
Oh, someone actually took the time and like timed it?
Yeah. Steve Rogers has the most screen time in the movie with 38 minutes and 15 seconds. with Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, Iron Man, coming in second place at 37 minutes and 15 seconds. So you really could call Civil War a Iron Man movie and a Captain America movie. They could totally pull a Freddy versus Jason with that.
Yeah, they really could.
That's fucking crazy. I didn't know that. I was just throwing some shit out there, like claiming that it had some fucking relevance. Apparently it does.
When you use the wrong equation, but you get the right answer.
Hey.
But yeah, like, Homecoming was so important because that was this iteration's origin story. Because he had to learn his limits on his own.
You know what?
Like, without the advanced suit.
I'm going to triple down on that claim and say the entire trilogy is his origin story.
I mean, yes. It arguably, yes.
Like, because the years that we get to see in Homecoming through Far From Home to No Way Home are his junior through senior years. Because junior year, I think you can pretty much confirm junior year because wasn't it like prom or was it? Oh no, it was Homecoming. I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah, it was Homecoming.
So
I'm pretty sure it was his sophomore year in Homecoming, junior year
in Far From Home.
In Far From Home, and then going into his senior year in No Way Home.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. And now we're gonna have an animated series to fill in his freshman year.
Oh, and that'll probably actually show like the bite, the transition, and all of that, because when he was telling Ned about it in Homecoming, like, it had been a minute.
Yeah, no, like, we're definitely looking at probably by the time Homecoming happens, I would say he's at least in year 2, or at least almost done with his first year of being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably around the area. No, I can't say that he's probably within the same area as Pattinson's Batman, because Pattinson's Batman has already put the Joker away. At least once. Spoilers, by the way.
Which, like, God, if I could just, like, throw that out
if you
there
haven't seen this fucking movie yet, why? It's so good. And I'm not talking about Spider-Man. I'm talking about fucking Batman. Here we go again.
Yeah. But, like, did they really need to include that scene? Did they really? Like, I know there's a scene that was cut, but, like, what was the 5 minutes between the Riddler and the Joker, like, necessary?
I think they probably did that to confirm that
for a sequel.
Yeah, they were definitely confirming a sequel because, you know, there was a lot going around about this movie may not get a sequel. You know, this may just be a one-off. And I think they threw that scene in there to confirm, yes, you will be seeing this Batman again.
Which, like, honestly, with how big it was and how well it did, like, I'm pretty sure that was, like, a given anyways.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, in situations like that, I don't care for the sequel bait. Because it's like, it was a contained story. We had, like, a good origin for, like, not like an origin story, but like this is going to be the next step. This is going into philanthropist Bruce Wayne and a more understanding and well-rounded Batman.
So do you think we're going to be
seeing... he already went
seeing...
through his vengeful stage.
Yeah, so do you think we're going to be seeing a lot less of emo Bruce Wayne in the next movie?
I think we're going to start... So, like, I think the next Bruce Wayne is going to be coming out of his shell little by little, and, like, even if he's not, like, a public figure yet. He's still going to be doing charity events or
Yeah, he wasn't
stuff like that. Like he'll be setting up campaigns and whatnot.
he wasn't Tony Stark, but he definitely, cuz I wouldn't say that he has the sharp tongue, but he doesn't have the charisma of Tony Stark, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Bruce Wayne is a little more suave and classy, and Tony Stark is a little more fuck you in your face.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what they do with it next. But like, I would prefer it have been like a solid story, a one-off. It did well. It is self-contained, and with like, if there was going to be a sequel, okay, we now have the building blocks for how we think it could go, because obviously they're going to rebuild the seawall.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of charity drives. There's going to be rebuilding pieces of Gotham because of the flooding and all of that. That's when we'll see philanthropist Bruce Wayne start to really shine and start dividing that identity.
Yeah, there's now an opening for Penguin to take over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the crime scene, anyways.
But had we not gotten the Joker scene, that would have been a really interesting, like...
Well, yeah, because you know
where...
where...
have you heard of this clown? And then just be like, oh my god, did they fucking do it? Or, like, the announcement for the sequel, it would be like, oh my god, we're getting a sequel?
Yeah, like...
Whereas now it's like, oh yeah, we're just waiting on the sequel.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's really weird because it's like, in my opinion, it's just like, it's almost kind of disappointing when situations like that have sequels announced for me personally. Because when, you know, you look at all the things that we just talked about, it's like the seawall's going to get rebuilt, you know, Penguin's more than likely going to take over most of the crime syndicates in the city. You know, we're going to get to see the philanthropist side of Bruce Wayne. We're going to get to see, you know, the more well-rounded version of Batman. It's just like, we know that he's going to become that more well-rounded version of Batman. It's like, we know where the universe goes from there with Batman's story. You know what I mean? Like, there's specific points that it hits, and then, you know, that's usually when DC decides to go fucking ape shit in the comics and play around with some universes. I'm not saying I don't love that shit. I fucking ate up the Bat Who Laughs crap. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, I was not expecting that story to be as good as it was, but because I was like, oh, okay, it's just like fucking, it's like a really edgy Batman. Like, Batman's edgy, but this guy's like really edgy. No, dude, it ain't like that at all. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Which I have that DC multiverse figure in my closet right now.
Oh, that's dope. But yeah, like, you know, we know where that universe is gonna go. We don't really need any sequels or anything like that, you know, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's too much want for sequels now. Like, there's just no room for a story to be a story. Like, even things like fucking, you know, Squid Game, which, did you ever end up watching that?
I haven't yet, but I really need to.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's going to be a season 2. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, why? There's no fucking need. And it's like, I don't know why. I don't know why, because the way it ends, it's a good ending. And then it feels like there's some shit tacked on to sequel bait, and apparently it was sequel baiting because there's now a season 2 coming out, and I'm just like, I just want things to be able to be, you know what I mean? Just one and done, man. Just, why can't people make movies like that anymore? Why does everything gotta be a sequel or a fucking reboot? Why can't anybody have any new ideas? You know, meanwhile,
I think it's because, like, if there's a standout for something that we didn't think was going to work, but it worked much better, or like better than anyone could have hoped,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, well, obviously studios are going to try and replicate that.
Right.
So there's that. But also, this was so well done, I would love to see more of it for like the audience side of it.
Right.
So that's one reason why we get so many sequels and reboots, to either try and recapture what the original did with the sequel, or get a reimagining but still fall within the lines of what the original did for the reboot, so that it'll still be successful.
Right. Like, see, comic book movies, like, I'll watch a new reboot every 5 years. I don't give a fuck. I will. Like, especially when it comes to fucking Batman, because I don't know what it is. And maybe I'm gonna get fucking crucified for saying this, but, like, Batman is a, like, blank slate of a character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is very easy for almost any actor to step into the shoes of that character. I mean, think about all the different Batmen we've had over the fucking years. TV and movies and fucking voice as well. Like,
mm-hmm.
It's because, like, the reason why we have so many different iterations of the character is because it's very easy to take a character like that and make it your own, because he's such a blank slate. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That can be a great thing for some characters. You know, it can be death for others, yes, but for a character like Batman, it works because you can just fill in the blanks.
Oh yeah, anyways, back to Spider-Man.
Yeah, back to fucking Spider-Man. I don't understand. Yeah, I just, like, and trust me, I'm glad that Andrew Garfield is finally getting the recognition that he deserves for playing a good Spider-Man. Him and Tobey Maguire both. I've always loved Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Yes, was I mortified by the fucking dancing scene in Spider-Man 3? Yes, but that wasn't the main issue with the movie. I could honestly look past that if the movie wasn't so over fucking crowded.
Yeah.
Like, if they'd have just left it at fucking Sandman, that would have been fine. Sequel bait with Venom. Like, Venom is not the kind of villain, when it comes to Spider-Man, he's not the kind of villain that you can only dedicate, like, 20, 30 minutes to. No, you need a whole fucking movie to fucking play out the fucking Venom story. Because Venom torments Spider-Man. He fucking ruins his life.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so much so that he recognizes him through universes.
yeah, apparently so.
But that guy.
Oh no, I'm talking about
fuck.
Venom ruins Spider-Man's life. Because
No, I know. It's like he has such an obsession he can see him through multiverse.
okay, yeah, gotcha.
That's what I was getting at.
Whoosh.
But yeah, like having I really do think having the black suit for Spider-Man 3 was the right call.
Yes, because that worked.
We got to, yeah, it worked. We got to see a vengeful Spider-Man going ham on Flint and Marco. But it's like, had Venom not been there, how would we have gotten a big fight between Spidey and Marco? Because for the most part, they started reconciliation, but then it got interrupted by Venom's whole bullshit, and then, you know, like, coercing Marco onto his side.
Well, remember
and then they had the final reconciliation at the end when Marco had a change of heart.
I don't think there was reconciliation to begin with. Remember, fucking, he thought he was dead.
That's right.
Peter thought he killed him.
I was mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, you had Harry as a secondary antagonist. You already had a secondary antagonist. You didn't need another one.
Who was introduced getting his
fucking melon rocked. Yeah. Getting his fucking melon rocked like he was at a Gallagher show, but, like, yeah. Like,
that man turned into a pinball machine all the way down.
But yeah, I think, you know, granted, like, the cheesy fucking movie enjoyer in me really likes the whole, you know, turn at the end where he's like, oh, your father stabbed himself with his own gilder, and fucking. I was trying to get through saying that seriously, but you laughed, you son of a bitch.
You said gilder. You didn't even say glider.
So,
don't get on my ass for laughing, you fuck.
Oh shit. But yeah, fucking, I will always enjoy that part of it, when he comes back and he fucking helps him in the end. But I think it would have been kind of cool, because he's already trying to just fucking ruin his shit anyways. He's like, oh yeah, the other guy, it's me. I'm the one piping your girlfriend, like.
Split her like a log, my dude.
Split it like an omelet. Nom, 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 nom.
Justice running. I couldn't even say that without laughing.
That's one of those things. That's one of those things where you're all
laugh, gag, laugh. Yeah. But yeah, like, had we not gotten Venom, like, we still could have had plenty with Harry and with Marco,
and there still could have been reconciliation with both.
Yeah, and the end, like the right before the credits roll, because post-credit scenes weren't a thing yet. Right before the credits roll, that's when we get
Sam fucking flat out bricks in Frodo's mouth.
Classic Clerks 2 reference.
Harry fucking flat out bricks in Peter's mouth.
Anyways. I do feel like we could have had the church scene.
Yes.
And gotten Venom. Or like the symbiote could have stayed at the church, and had like a little twist on that scene from the comics.
Yeah,
it could have bid its time for someone to swing by, and the first person it was Brock.
Yeah,
and gotten that there, and then learned like what the symbiote was and like how to harness it. And of course, then Venom kind of like they figure out their team up and work together for a little bit first. Gone through the final act with Marco and Harry, and we could have ended it there.
Yeah,
with the reconciliation and the credit, the pre-credit scene, the transition to Venom, and it's like, we hate Spider-Man, or just something.
Yeah.
A single line that could have said, oh, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man 4 could have been purely the Venom movie, or the Spidey v Venom movie that we wanted.
Yeah. There could have been a Spider-Man 4.
I really hope with, like, even with all the people pissing and moaning about No Way Home, I really do hope that they'll take a chance and actually make a next movie for each of these Spider-Men. We'll get Amazing Spider-Man 3, we'll get Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. And even Raimi himself was, I'm pretty sure was on the record saying, I would love to come back, and I would love to do an MCU Spider-Man film, but Toby will beat my ass if I don't come get his first.
Yeah, Toby would kill me if I did another Spider-Man movie and it wasn't with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's down. The studios just need to come together to do it.
Well, the studio needs to stop fucking blowing money on stupid shit, like fucking giving into satirical memes and releasing Morbius in theaters for a second time, and movies like El Muerto about a character that was only in 2 comics.
Yeah, I don't understand. like we could definitely like Sony could definitely work a rogues gallery sort of a movie or like sort of a universe, but they're missing one key thing. They are missing Spider-Man, which I think is exactly what they're trying to do with their partnership with Marvel. Is like, okay, no one knows who Spider-Man is, so now we can hang on to him for a little bit and make our shit. Which I'm like fairly confident that's exactly what's going on.
I mean, I just don't get it.
If they're going to do these origin movies for these Rogues Gallery villains, they need to be good movies to start with.
Yeah, they need to be good movies, and then you also need the main ingredient. Fucking Spider-Man! I'm still blown away at the fact, this is looking, outside of the box here and not looking at the fact that they are decent movies on their own, I guess. But I'm just blown away at the fact that we have 2 Venom movies, one that also has Carnage, and neither of them have Spider-Man in them. And there's apparently a third one in production, more than likely, no Spider-Man. But then again, maybe, because, I mean, they did kind of set him on an arc with that whole crossing into the MCU thing.
Yeah, and I think that was just to leave a symbiote behind, because that's, of course, Venom has to be in the MCU now.
But at the same time, I think that also could be them being, potentially setting up Venom versus Spidey in the Venom movies. Because he's gonna get back. He's not just gonna forget about fucking Spider-Man. He's gonna still go to New York and be like, I'm fucking curious. I was just in another universe. There's gotta be another one here.
Where is Peter fucking Parker? Get out here. Shitbag. But it's just like
hot dogs.
Hey, I got next month's rent.
Come on up.
But if you I could also be like, well, actually, let me push up my glasses. Venom is takes place in San Francisco on the other side of the United States from New York. So of course they wouldn't cross paths yet, and that whole fucking thing. Because I know that was being thrown out a lot, too.
Well, he didn't move to San Francisco until he got fucking essentially kicked out of New York.
Oh, yeah, he got shamed his way out of the
Bugle.
No, it's still the Bugle.
Yeah. He worked for the Bugle.
Yeah, he got shamed. He got shamed his way out, or his way shamed out of the Bugle.
Yeah.
That's why he's in Frisco.
Yeah, and if you read a fucking comic book, you glasses-pushing fucking twat, fucking... you would know that the Lethal Protector series takes place in San Francisco. See, that's the thing I can't be entirely mad about with these fucking movies, because, yes, they are seriously deviating away from the source material by not having Spider-Man involved whatsoever, but they are also sticking to Venom's solo source material really well.
Next up, what I would love to see, if they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, bring in Joe Manganiello to reprise his role as an older, post-military Flash Thompson.
Agent Venom!
And give us Agent Venom.
I would love to see that.
And honestly, with just watching interviews with Joe about whether it be about previous roles, about comic books,
D&D.
about D&D especially, the man is one of the buffest nerds that I've ever seen. And I would love to meet this man. He and Travis, with the whole Jocks Machina thing, these men, I love to pieces. I would love to meet both of them.
Yeah.
They are the hugest, nerds on the planet.
Physically and metaphorically.
Yes. I mean, like, if anyone by now is a part of the D&D community who hasn't heard of Joe Manganiello's Gygax Dungeon, like, y'all are missing out. Look it up. It's beautiful.
But yeah, and also, if you really think about it, doing Agent Venom would be a really good way for Tom Hardy to leave the role behind if he's ready to. You know what I mean? Like, if he's done doing these movies, that would be a great way for him to be able to leave the character behind, but still have a Venom character going for these movies.
Yeah, because by that point it's Flash, it's not Eddie. So yeah, that would work out perfectly.
Yeah. Like, because unless you're going to do something like Anti-Venom, like, then you could have Eddie Brock and, Agent Venom, but yeah, I don't think you could have both of them have the same Venom symbiote. I don't think that's ever been a thing. I'm not 100% sure on that. There's been some crazy shit in the comics when it comes to that.
No, it wouldn't be the same the same Venom symbiote because there's only the one, but there are so many offshoots that derive from the Venom symbiote. I mean, look at the I forget what the group is called, but there's 5 symbiote quote unquote grandchildren.
Oh yeah. They're from the separation anxiety arc.
Yeah, all of them like I forget, did they all come from Venom or did they all come from Carnage, which came from Venom?
They all came from Venom. They are Carnage's brothers and sisters.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because what happened was the Life Foundation found Eddie Brock, separated him from the Venom symbiote, and they forced the Venom symbiote to spawn 5 times. And it created these 5 symbiotes, whose names I cannot recall at the moment.
I'm looking it up so that I have.
I know there was Riot, Phage. Yeah, that's all I remember.
We had Scream, Lasher, Phage, Agony, and Riot.
Yeah,
which are all part of that story.
Yeah, those are the original
their first
ones.
appearance was. Yeah, their first appearance was actually Venom Lethal Protector #4.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we have so yeah, we have Venom. Carnage came from Venom. Those 5 came from Venom. We have
Toxin
Hybrid?
came from Carnage.
Toxin did come from Carnage and reattached itself to Eddie Brock.
That's right.
Originally bonded to Patrick Mulligan.
Yeah, a cop.
Which I think is what they're hinting at with Let There Be Carnage at the end, because we saw the symbiote eye flash with the cop, who I believe was actually Patrick Mulligan. I think they're setting up Toxin for the next Sony Venom movie.
That would probably be what they're doing. I'll have to watch that. I need to watch it. Like, I've watched the final fight scene, but I haven't watched the movie in its entirety. But I need to. I have a fucking Starz subscription. I can watch both of them.
Then yeah, we have Anti-Venom, who comes from
that's some shit in the negative zone.
So, it is the Venom symbiote, if I remember correctly, that bonds to his white blood cells because of the negative energy from Mr. Negative.
Yeah.
So it is still a Venom symbiote, technically. But because it bonds and it goes to the negative zone, it is a healing symbiote, hence the all-white color.
Yeah.
And is corrosive to other symbiotes.
Yeah, and it can also, like, take away superpowers in certain cases. Like Spider-Man's superpowers. Since Spider-Man's superpowers are the result of radiation, he technically just has a permanent case of radiation poisoning. The anti-venom suit can take care of that, which would remove his powers.
And that's also the way he literally fucked Mary Jane to death.
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, she died of radiation poisoning because you're spooge.
Radioactive spooge. Now comes in 32-ounce size.
So the last three major symbiotes that I'm seeing are Mania. Of course, the primordial god
Null.
who created the Venom symbiote, Null, and one called Sleeper, which I actually haven't heard of.
Interesting. I think hybrid. I think one of those is just a different version of hybrid.
Hybrid was introduced as a fusion of Lasher, Phage, Agony, and Riot, bonded to a prison guard. Scream and Hybrid were hunted and killed by Eddie Brock. Yada yada yada. Okay, so we had that, and then the other one was Sleeper. Okay, one seed inside Venom remained after the Life Foundation extracted the seeds of Scream, Phage, Lasher, Agony, and Riot. Venom, after having been purified, wanted to keep his new offspring safe from people who would use it for nefarious purposes, and want to make it not Carnage. Birthed it in Alchemex. After the Venom symbiote was stolen by its first host, Altar, the offspring bonded to Eddie so that they could save Venom. So Sleeper is an offspring of Venom that again bonded to fucking Eddie Brock. Just like, I mean, this man is the godfather of symbiotes.
I mean, he
like,
kind of is
up.
because he was the original Venom. Then he was anti-Venom. He's also been Toxin. And now you're telling me that he's had this symbiote. And now I think in the comics, he is Null now. Venom is the king of the symbiotes.
Oh.
I'm almost certain that is what is currently going on in the Venom comics.
Jesus.
Let me double check here. I'm not 100% sure. Venom, King of Symbiotes. Yeah. In Marvel's landmark 200th issue of Venom, it's been confirmed that Eddie Brock's Other is the most powerful symbiote in the Marvel Universe. After the defeat of Null the Symbiote God, Eddie Brock is now the new King in Black, controlling vast legions of symbiotes all over the galaxy.
So yeah, Eddie Brock is now the god of symbiotes.
Yeah. So...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's currently what's going on. But holy...
Thanks, Spidey. You gave birth to a new god.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god!
Thanks, Spider-Man.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, then again, it was for the better because Eddie Brock is a benevolent god, whereas Null was pure chaotic evil.
I mean, isn't it confirmed that like the reason why the symbiotes have an aversion to fire and sound is because of Null forging the symbiote blade?
Yes.
That all of this comes from?
Yes, that is the exact reason why that is their weakness.
That's so I know it's retroactive, but that's fucking beautiful.
Right? Like, yeah, it's like,
that's
yes,
somebody
that
being
was,
real clever.
Yeah,
I love
that,
it.
Yes, of course, that was thought of in hindsight. Like, of course it was, but you still have to be able to appreciate the fact that that is some creative thinking. Oh, but yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, that that was all just a long-winded. Can we get Joe Manganiello back for Flash Thompson and for Agent Venom, please?
Yeah, and seriously, Sony, stop making bad fucking things related to Spider-Man movies. Like, put some fucking work into them.
If you are gonna do convoluted stories, sling that shit over to the writing department for like the animation team, so that they can make it good. Because I mean, Into the Spider-Verse, yes, please.
Yeah. Now we've got fucking Across the Spider-Verse coming.
Part 1.
No, it's no longer going to be a part 1 and 2. It's going to be Across the Spider-Verse. Or no, it's the second one is going to be called Across the Spider-Verse, and the third one is going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I didn't know they changed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, 2 movies. Hell yeah, super stoked.
Alright, guys, we've officially hit the halfway point of the episode, and you know what that means. Time for me to annoy the shit out of you by interrupting the episode with announcements. Alright, so I don't have too much in the way of announcements this week, so it's gonna be quick. First thing we absolutely have to get out of the way. Recently, me and Mike realized that there were some audio issues with some of the earlier episodes. And that's because we were recording at different project rates, which is a bunch of technical mumbo-jumbo that I really don't have time to get into at the moment. But fear not, as we have already changed our recording method before discovering this. So I think sometime around episode 5 or 6 is when that should stop being a problem. The shorts that I mentioned in last week's episode are going to start going up tomorrow. So if you want a preview of next week's episode, you're going to have to make sure you get your ass right back here tomorrow. And, as always, we've got the usual 4 initiative news. Nothing really new, same thing I said last week, just giving you a reminder that they are on a bi-weekly schedule now, with sessions on Sundays and Fridays, in that order, and those Sunday sessions are going to be the ones that you're going to find fish in. Alright, that does it for announcements. Like I said, it was going to be quick. Back to the episode.
Welcome back to Simping for Peter Parker.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, getting back to my original point is, you know, the thing that I opened up this shit with is, it's like, I think it's great that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are getting the respect that they deserved for playing the roles that they did, because they both did a great job when they first did them, and they did it again when they were in No Way Home. But I don't agree with that as being an excuse to turn around and be like, oh yeah, well, these other 3 movies that we've praised for the last fucking... How long have we been getting these MCU Spider-Man movies? 2017 was Homecoming?
I believe so. Looking it up.
We've gotten to see him a bunch of times outside of those movies too, as well.
Yes, released 2017. Far From Home was 2019, and No Way Home was 2021. So, a good, like, every 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm actually very happy
Yeah,
with
a good 2
Plus,
years.
they're good quality.
Yeah, and we also got a lot of screen time with him in Infinity War. And we also got... We didn't get as much in Endgame, but he was also in that a fair amount too. He's the reason that the fucking universe got saved. Like, give the fucking kid some credit. Like, we've been dealing...
Carrot, activate instant kill. And we finally got to see it. That was a beautiful payoff.
That was honestly fucking cool. Was we got to see the instant kill mode get used. But yeah, I really don't understand why, you know, just because the original guys that did this years ago are now finally getting praise, why people have to immediately turn around and shit on the current one. It's just like, we can like all of them, guys. Like, that's the reason we were all psyched that they were in No Way Home, right? Because, like, you know, they were all there.
Yeah, and, like, one of the arguments that I've been hearing a lot of, even when it first came out, was, oh, the movie's, like, 75%, like, fan service. I can fully acknowledge that that is the case. But that's one reason why I love it so much.
Yeah, it's...
Because this is exactly what I've been wanting from an MCU Spider-Man movie for a while.
Yeah, a movie that gives the fans what they fucking want from Spider-Man.
But it's pandering. Yes. That's the point. That's fine. But if it doesn't line up with what you want to be pandered to, that's bad. I guess.
Well, I think it's bad because Spider-Man doesn't say fuck. He doesn't say fuck enough.
I mean, he got close that two times.
What the?
But
Which, love that line.
yeah, they all have had really good performances, and I still will maintain that Tom Holland has had the more balanced performance out of all three of them. Like, he has 100% had the most balanced. His Peter Parker is fucking great, and his Spider-Man is fucking great. He's a good, well-rounded version of the character. Like, I would argue that Pattinson is for Batman. Here we go with fucking Batman again. It always comes back to fucking Batman.
Everything is Batman. You are Batman. I am Batman.
Holy shit! I gotta call my parents.
Actually, I can't be. I can't be Batman. I'm fat. Anyways.
I don't want to laugh, but it was funny.
You're welcome. But yeah, like I just don't understand why there's so much grief with that movie, because like I would argue that it gave maybe not the best like heart-wrenching moments, you know, like definitive moments in acting for all of the Spider-Man, but where they went, like looking at where they started with their individual films and then looking to see like where they went like in their own story, like, oh yeah, I stopped pulling my punches, you know, there's a lot of grief and all of that. And then like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man getting his redemption.
Yeah.
Plus like getting to see him like go back to Amazing Spider-Man, like I'm gonna nerd out about engineering again. Like that was honestly one of my favorite parts of the Amazing Spider-Man films. Is like seeing his engineering and like true passion for science. Building his web fluid, building his web shooters, going through and making his suit insulated so it like he doesn't get shocked, or at least it mitigates as much damage as he can. You know, all of that was amazing. Even talking about the water heater in the first film, it's like that shows that this man is a smart Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And that's something that was really showcased in his trilogy, whereas it may not have been like front and center in the Garfield or in the Maguire films. But the Maguire films, like those stuck to like kind of the heart of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Like the empathy or the compassion side of things, and like dealing with, you know, being the best Spider-Man that he can be because of things that happened early on with Uncle Ben. So it's like and you really see that. Like you really see he is like still one of the most compassionate Spider-Men that we've seen in No Way Home. He stops Holland's Peter from killing the Goblin.
Yeah.
That was his redemption.
Yeah, and
from his original film. Like that's big.
I think it's not only that, but I saw something recently that also kind of gave us a reason for why he did that. And it's because of in Spider-Man 2, I think it's Spider-Man 2 or 3, I can't remember. But fucking Aunt May makes a quote of some kind where it's just like, who are we to be the ones that decide whether someone lives or dies? And like someone,
oh god, which film?
I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. Let me see if I can look it up. Fucking save me and fill in the blanks while I'm doing this.
Actually, I'm looking it up too. That was Spider-Man 3.
Okay, so it was the third one.
Yeah, because he was actually talking about Marco, I believe.
Right, and
I don't think it's for us to say whether a person deserves to live or die. But Aunt May, he killed Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben meant the world to us, but he wouldn't want us living 1 second with revenge in our hearts.
Right.
And that was, if I remember correctly, kind of a turning point with, like, even him with the symbiote suit.
Yeah.
And going back to the compassionate Peter Parker that we knew originally. I mean, it's also that and blowing Harry's face half apart, so yeah. That does a lot to somebody. But yeah, it's like we see the outcome of each of those Spider-Man in No Way Home, and it makes sense. It was very well written, well acted, and like it comes together beautifully. I don't understand why people are so upset with it.
Yeah, I don't know either. How do I fucking... God, I'm just gonna send you the link because this is the tweet that actually set off this conversation today. Like, this is what got this conversation going. If you look at Discord.
I do see it. Now, I will like, movies aside, the film posters or the cover art for the films, I do agree. Amazing Spider-Man has a lot more interesting going on, and it's a better composition.
Look, something has happened in recent
eyes.
years to the people who make movie posters. There are still some good ones out there. Like, most of the ones that we got for Multiverse of Madness were sick.
I feel like there was a lot more creativity available because of what the film was about.
True. But yeah, like, this fucking tweet, and like, this is them honestly commenting on the movies themselves. And like, the comments are just full of shit where it's just like, someone will be like, yeah, I'll be like, no, I disagree with this. Homecoming is actually a really good, easily a top 3 Spider-Man movie. And someone fucking said, someone replies going, Tom Holland's movies were all right, but nothing compared to the quality of Garfield and Tobey. What are you talking about? All 3 of these takes on Spider-Man have their good merits to them. They also have their bad ones. It's just when it comes to those other movies, there's a lot more glaring issues with them. I don't fucking know. It's just the main thing that I'm really getting back to here is it's just like, oh, this person used this character in a way that we liked, so now everything that they ever did was the greatest shit ever, and I never once said that I hated it. It's the same. It's the same thing with. That's why I said this. It kind of started with like this. The Zack Snyder stuff, because people I shit on him for fucking months about Batman v Superman. Months over it. Fucking some people it was years. I fucking gave it up after a couple months because it just wasn't worth it anymore. The Martha meme got old, and I was like, okay, it's time to move on.
Which, to be fair, the theatrical release was an absolute mess,
from what I've heard, and like my whole thing, and then all of a sudden, because Joss Whedon did a bad job on the Justice League movie, everybody fucking starts pissing their pants going, and mind you, this is not me being like, oh, fuck the Snyder Cut, fuck Zack Snyder, fuck everybody who wanted it. Like, I just thought it was really annoying that these same people who had been shitting on Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's DC movies as a whole, I think with the exception of Watchmen, can that be considered a DC property? Is that a DC property? I know Dr. Manhattan was brought into the DC universe at some point. That's why I'm asking.
Why is it not telling me? I think it is. Yeah, I think it's owned by Warner.
Okay.
So yes, it would be maybe not a DC property, but it is a Warner property.
Okay, but yeah, like with the exception of fucking Watchmen, because I think we can all agree that Watchmen is a phenomenal flick. Fucking, you know, people were shitting all over Man of Steel. People were shitting all over fucking Batman v Superman. And then fucking Justice League ends up being horrible, you know, even after being made by someone else, and everybody just fucking all of a sudden up and decides, oh my god, Zack Snyder's the greatest fucking thing ever. Please release the Snyder Cut. Like, you guys were just mercilessly shitting on this dude for years. And now you're saying that you think his cut of the movie would be better? And I still haven't seen it, so I cannot make my opinion on that. But what I do know is the CG in the Whedon version was horrendous. Wasn't very noticeable on the big screen, but on the small screen was really where it showed through.
The next time we're in, like, either you're able to come down here or I'm able to go up there, we'll have a day. We'll have a day.
Yeah.
Because see, here's my take on it. So, I haven't seen Sucker Punch, nor do I really care to. There's different aspects of it that don't resonate with me, which is fine. So that's just not one I would really care to see. I understand it, but not for me.
Right.
So when it comes to like Man of Steel, like I've come around to it, but it's still I still don't find it to be like amazing.
I'll put this out there
That being
too.
said,
the only Superman movies that I like are Superman the movie and Superman 2. Superman Returns sucks too. No offense to Brandon Routh.
yeah.
I love him, but yeah, that movie sucks.
So Man of Steel was okay, in my opinion. Fucking going through, we had Watchmen, which the theatrical cut was, if I remember right, okay. Like it was pretty good, but there's a lot of story that was cut, which came back in the ultimate cut, which is the version that Snyder had originally wanted in theaters, which honestly is the better version. It keeps everything together. Yes, it's got a long runtime, but you know, whatever. Then we have Sucker Punch, which its theatrical run, as well as a lot of thoughts about the movie, especially with the hypersexualization and, you know, like the different aspects of wish fulfillment that were originally viewed. Not a lot of people understood.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it has been explained and it's been analyzed to death, it's like, that's fine. From what I understand, the theatrical cut was subpar. And there was an extended edition, as well as, I think 300 was also a Snyder film that got a similar treatment.
You know what? I think you're right.
Where there was an extended version. So there's just a lot that's lining
but
up when it comes to...
I don't think 300 fell into that same category, because 300 was beloved in the theaters and once it came to home media. Like, when that movie came out, people would not shut the fuck up about it.
That was one of the films that introduced me to Snyder. I'm not sure if it was his first theatrical film, or if that was the one that got him on the map, or if that was just, I can say that was my first Snyder film, and I loved it. Then going through like Batman v Superman, the theatrical the theatrical cut was a mess. It jumped around way too much. There was a lot of story elements that were rearranged for some weird fucking reason, and it just did not do well. The Ultimate Edition brings back all of the stuff that was cut, makes it a more cohesive story, and the areas that jumped around and didn't really work, specifically there was a conversation between Lois Lane and um I think I forget if it was a cop or if it was Lawrence Fishburne's character from the Daily Planet or what, but there was a conversation between her and someone else that kind of gave more context to what was going on like the Gotham side of things and why Batman, like one of the reasons why Clark Kent, which we get to see more of, goes to Gotham to kind of get his first-hand experience with the Batman.
Yeah.
And so like the theatrical cut was a mess. The Ultimate Edition gave brought everything back into context and didn't jump around.
It didn't feel disjointed.
Exactly. And so we're 3 for 3 now of the theatrical release was subpar, and the original version, to our understanding, that he wanted to put out, that Snyder wanted to put out in theaters, which is now the home media version, is the better version.
Right.
So then when everything happened with his daughter, and I hope the family is doing much better now.
Yeah.
But everything that happened there, and he stepped away, and Whedon came in with his own set of problematic issues. It obviously didn't do well.
Right. Yeah.
So that's when people were starting to put out release the Snyder cut, and like I'm not saying I'm exempt from like hopping on the bandwagon and not shitting on Snyder and all of that, and like I'll fully admit it, and I apologize.
Well, and that's the difference between you and most people in this situation, though.
Yeah, I'll fully acknowledge it. But when we got that, I was one of the people who just took a moment and it's like, wait, no, I actually really enjoyed Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition. And looking back, it's like, oh no, the superior versions of those films were ones that he pushed for the home release, which, again, to my understanding, should have been the original release, but studio meddling and all.
Right.
So, all right,
and
release the Snyder
just
cut. Then we hear that.
Just as a quick clarifier, his directorial debut was the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead, written by both George A. Romero and James Gunn.
I actually forgot that James Gunn was a part of that
I had no idea. That's fucking awesome to me.
Okay, yeah, love that film too. Okay, cool.
But the next film that he did after that was 300.
Okay, so that incorporated the quintessential Snyder punch-in.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, gotcha. But yeah, so all right, we're 3 for 3 and possibly 4 for 4, because I can't confirm that because I haven't seen Sucker Punch. But all right, yeah, release the Snyder cut. Then there was a petition, and then HBO Max said, "Hey, we're gonna throw some money at it. Make the film you want to make." And there was a bunch of publicity around that. And then it finally gets released, and yeah, it's almost 4.5 fucking hours long. But no, this is like leagues better than what we got from Justice League.
Right. Yeah, see, my biggest thing that I had the issue with when it came to Joss Whedon's Justice League was there was too much in it. There were too many parts where you could tell he was trying to make it like Avengers.
Which is exactly why Warner's brought him
in I know.
Because he helmed the Avengers.
Oh, I know. But there's also a reason he only did one of them.
I thought he did Age of Ultron.
Was he Age of Ultron?
I'm pretty sure.
Age of Ultron. Oh, no, that was Whedon as well.
Hmm?
I mean,
I don't know a lot, but I know some.
Yeah,
things.
I mean, shit. But yeah, I just like, I get it. He made these movies, but at the same time, it's just that doesn't automatically make him good at doing this kind of thing, you know? Obviously, there are some people out there where that does fucking apply, like James Gunn. You know, fucking, you've got him fucking knocking it out of the park with Guardians of the Galaxy. And in the small interim of time that he was fired from Disney over some stupid shit, fucking DC picked him up and got him for at least one movie doing fucking Suicide Squad. And that turned into a fucking series with a character from that Suicide Squad movie.
God, I love James Gunn's Suicide Squad so fucking
I haven't
much.
seen it yet.
Oh, it's so
The-
good. Why have you not seen it yet?
Honestly, the main reason I haven't seen it is like it kind of feels like okay, I will be honest here, I'm being a little petty about it. And it's mainly just because like the majority of the people that I would have put money down to see that movie for get killed off in their first fucking scene. So it's like, all right, that feels like a bit of a middle finger. And by the end of the fucking movie, I think there's only one original member left. And that's Harley.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny anything.
I know most of the spoilers for that movie. Like I've seen pretty much all of. I know about the deaths. I know about Rick Flag, all that shit.
Okay, then you know there's two.
Oh,
Right.
There's two?
Yeah, Weasel.
Weasel survived?
It's like right before the credits roll, or like right after the initial, like starring. He fucking hacks up some water and fucks off.
No, I'm not talking about like from that first group at the beginning of the movie. I'm talking about like the people that came back from the Ayer movie. Like Rick Flag
like
and
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah. The fact that they all get killed off in this fucking movie and Harley's the only one that makes it out. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little fucking. I'm a little fucking like pissed off for that. That feels like a little bit of a middle finger to people who actually liked those characters from the first movie. Like,
now here's the thing. I really did like those characters. I was actually super excited that we got Jai Courtney back because
that's the one I'm pissed about.
I stand Jai Courtney. Like. I love his stuff, as odd as it may be, but like you can't tell me watching Jack Reacher he wasn't fucking menacing, just like meditating with a sniper rifle in his lap. Like, come on now.
I don't think I've seen Jack Reacher.
Oh my god! Okay, we're making a weekend of just movies I need you to watch. But yeah, like I was super excited to see him come back, and then he gets got. I think the funniest one for me, which I don't have any comments on, like the whole Pete Davidson versus fucking Kanye West. Kanye, like, but like seeing Pete Davidson come out and going, "I'm the one who called," and then getting his face blown off was the funniest fucking part of that.
See, I thought that was
beautiful.
I thought that was amusing. The one that I think really like kind of pissed me off, or the two actually that really pissed me off, that like really felt like I got fucking like that, like if I'd have put money down for that movie, I probably would have walked out. Fucking Michael Rooker's character and Nathan Fillion's character.
Oh, come on. It's like James Gunn, Michael Rooker, and oh my god, you just
Nathan
said
Fillion.
it, Nathan Fillion. There we go. God, my brain shuts off at the worst times. Like all three of them are like super good.
Oh yeah,
like they've been a part of Gunn's stuff for a long time.
ever since Slither.
since before Slither, but
As
yes,
far as
that was a big
Gunn
one.
being a director, because that was his directorial debut.
that is fair. That is fair. Which I love the movie.
Yeah.
It's so fucking.
Have you
weird.
have you watched the kill count on it yet?
Oh, it was just released a couple days ago,
A
wasn't it?
couple weeks ago. It's one of the ones with
couple
with
weeks.
Zoran, the guy who was doing the Tremors ones.
I love Zoran's
Yeah.
videos on Tremors. I only got through 3, but off topic.
Right, yeah,
seriously.
But yeah, fucking
Nathan like those were so comedic. I can't even be mad.
it's just
because it's like this grizzled hard ass, like you've seen Michael Rooker be
it's
intimidating.
Michael Rooker.
Just seeing him go, like take one look at the enemy side and go and fuck off, and like get shot in the water. That's fucking hilarious. And then fucking Nathan Fillion just slapping dudes with
His disembodied arms.
detached arms. And then the arms are getting shot and he's flailing on the ground. How can you be mad?
Because I wanted to see more of those characters. Like, if we
Gunn
could,
knew exactly what he was doing.
if a fucking ridiculous ass character like Polka Dot Man can make it to the final act, I want to see them in the final act. That's
Oh,
my
God,
thing. I would have been fine if they had gotten killed in the final act, but it was the fact that they literally get killed within the first 15 minutes.
All right, fair enough. You can be upset about that, but the movie is so good. It's
Ugh.
so good. But Rick Flag makes it through the majority of the movie,
Yeah.
and of course, Harley makes it all the way.
Yeah,
through.
Harley makes it all through,
So-
and then the character that I least wanted to make it out of this movie makes it out and got an entire series.
Oh, Peacemaker? Dude,
I love,
you gotta you gotta see it from start to finish.
yeah,
Like, peace. I love peace. I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill to get it. It's just like, no, this man is the personification of America.
yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why it's fucking
I think
great.
that's why the character pisses me off.
I mean, yeah, but if you look at it as like,
Oh no, it's it's
Satirical,
completely
it's great.
satirical. But it's just like,
yeah,
the sad part about it is like, I feel like there are dudes out there like that actually have that mentality. They're just like,
I know some of those people, and I hate
like,
it.
oh my god, like Deadpool would be a better role model for you people. And he's a mercenary. Except he doesn't try to sugarcoat it with patriotism, because he's Canadian.
Sorry. That delivered.
Oh my god. But yeah, oh god.
But yeah, I would definitely say give Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, a shot. We'll make it a day. We gotta watch Suicide Squad, the James Gunn version. Fuck it. Is there anything else that you're just kind of I don't know that I could bring over and just like fucking Clockwork Orange style force you to watch?
Dude, I haven't seen any of the DC movies. And look, I know this is going to make me sound like a fucking pig, but the Wonder Woman movies to me just look really boring. The sequel especially does.
That's fine. Sequel's not great. Can't fault Gal Gadot. But like the second one wasn't great. There's a lot of meddling going on, and a lot of questionable decisions with Chris Pine's character and like the whole consent thing. It's not something I want to get into. but the first film, I would recommend.
Okay.
I really would.
Especially
like it's got David Thewlis. How can you be mad with David Thewlis as fucking the God of War?
True.
The DC movies that I would recommend, like Man of Steel, if you want, would definitely recommend Batman v Superman Ultimate, Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Aquaman. I will go through I will go through the big list and point out any others, but for now, like for sure those ones, I think you would have a good experience.
So yeah, see, that's actually another thing for me is I do not care for Superman. When
I'm not a fan of Boy Scouts.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of Superman when he's being Superman. I like Tyrant Superman because it's like, see, I knew that fucking Boy Scout thing was all just a fucking act. You're a fucking alien invader. I don't trust you.
I can't like Superman for me. Take the Boy Scout out of it. He is too perfect.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Flash is fastest man alive, but he gets beat out by Superman. The only reason that the Flash can win is because of the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So take the Speed Force out of the equation. It's Superman. Superman is the strongest living thing in the world. He takes his power from the sun. Like, legit. Oh, what's his weakness? He doesn't have a weakness. Oh, wait, this random space rock that fell from the sky just makes him a normal dude. And then there's a pink one that makes him gay. It's a thing.
And then there's a gold one that, like, permanently removes his powers.
Uh-huh. Like, there's a lot of Superman that just, like, kind of confuses me. And it's just not great. Whereas, like, so for you could make a similar argument for Batman, like, peak physical and mental capabilities for the average human being. So if he goes up against, like, your average Joe, of course he's going to win in both smarts
that fucking
and
opening
physical
scene
prowess.
from the Batman.
And who the hell are you supposed to be?
Ah,
I'm vengeance.
it's such a perfect spiker, but I know why they didn't do it. Like, perfect setup, fucking spiker, fucking, I'm Batman, but I know they couldn't do it. We better fucking get that in the next one, though.
No, they could do it, but I think I know the reason why they didn't. Because this is meant to portray the vengeful Batman.
This isn't Batman
that we got.
Well, see, here's how I see
Yeah,
it. This isn't Batman.
This is the
yeah,
Bat.
this is the Batman.
So the next movie we will get Batman.
Yeah,
You know, the like closer to the Conroy incarnation.
yeah.
That most of us grew up with and loved.
I would
to pieces.
honestly like to say that that is the character that Pattinson is trying to striving to emulate. Maybe he is the younger version of that Batman. You know, because I mean, the Batman in the animated series is like well into his career.
Mhm.
Like, when we see him again in Batman Beyond, he's an old man, so he's already got to be pretty far into his life in the animated series and, you know, Justice League Unlimited and all that shit.
Yeah, I could actually see the animated series being like late 30s, early 40s, if not late 40s.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then in Batman Beyond, we get him in his 60s, 70s. Which, of course, if you're training for that much and haven't killed yourself yet, like, you're still gonna be, like, big dude, just slower and...
yeah, that's if your body doesn't fucking give up on you from years of doing that.
And that... And that's where painkillers and steroids
And that's where
in.
fucking Frank Miller's Batman comes in, and ooh, that gets dark.
Yes, it does. But like you could make the argument that, oh yeah, Batman is too powerful, he's too smart, like you can't really do that. But that's one of the amazing things about some of these Rogues Gallery villains for him is you have like the Riddler, you have Hugo Strange. These are two men who are like two of very few people who actually figure out who the fuck Batman is.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're able to outsmart Batman, with everything that he knows and
Even
like,
if only for a
all
minute.
the tech that he has at his disposal, yeah, that is an amazing feat. And that means, like, yo, these guys mean business.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they're average Joes as well. Just psychotic.
Batman is a man who dresses up in rubber and beats mentally ill people.
Don't you mean mentally poor people?
I mean, ouch. I mean,
Shameless Badger reference.
yeah. I am Mitch McConnell.
yeah.
Feed me, poor people.
Feed me poor people.
Oh, shit.
Back on
All
track.
right. Fuck. But yeah.
Went
Yeah,
everywhere.
just, I
We
really,
went everywhere in this.
Bottom line, really, what I think I want to say when it comes to this, before we get to our closing topic here today, is just bandwagoning isn't a good mentality to have. Like, that's all I'm trying to say here, man. Like, just like shit. If you like something, fine. If someone else tells you not to like it, tell them to shove it. Like,
And if you do change your mind with something, at the very least say, "Oh yeah, I changed my mind."
say that you had changed your mind. Don't fucking sit there, and just go, "Oh no, I always liked this shit." When, there are people that can pull up fucking tweets of yours.
Yeah, that's called gaslighting, and gaslighting's
And
not
it's
okay.
like, yeah, people change and people grow, but you're not changing and growing if you don't acknowledge it.
Exactly.
But yeah, anyways,
Just yeah, I said that. I changed my mind. This is how I think now. Cool. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome. Anyways, so our last little tidbit that I want to get to today, because we gotta sign off here soon, is huge fucking news came out of Sony's State of Play a little while ago. And it turns out that Spider-Man Remastered, a game that was supposed to be exclusive to the PS4 and PS5 respectively, is officially coming to the PC. I'm fucking psyched. If not for the fact
Yeah,
that I will be able to play this new version of the game that I haven't been able to play due to a lack of a PlayStation 5, but because mods, because someone's gonna make a Spider Cop suit. Mustache, aviators, the whole nine. Someone's gonna fucking do it.
Spider Cop is on patrol.
And I will download the shit out of it. I don't even care if I have to subscribe to a Patreon for it.
Beautiful.
But yeah, super excited about that, but mainly just because me and Fish were talking about this before we started recording. The main reason I'm really excited about this is because it gives me hope, and it gives other people hope out there who, like me, have yet to get their hands on a PS5, and the situation is still looking grim, even by the time the next Spider-Man game comes out. So I'm hoping that what this is Sony testing the waters to see how people receive a game like this on PC, and I'm hoping that it means that the second game will come to PC as well. And yeah, that would honestly be fucking marvelous.
I can't really say I'm surprised though, because like there are plenty of Sony exclusive games that were going to be staying on the PlayStation, like Horizon Zero Dawn, or
God
like,
of War got a PC port recently.
Yeah. God of War, Days Gone. These are three massive games that were supposed to stay PlayStation 4 exclusive that then came to PC, and they've gotten amazing reviews. So if Spider-Man was going to be the one, like, okay, I'm a little surprised, but okay, I wouldn't really be mad. But now that it comes to it, it's just like you know what? I thought it was just a matter of time, and I'm glad it was.
Yeah, because it's like, I think nowadays, I'm over assuming here, and there's just a lot of non-thinking going into this. I I don't know how safe it is to say that most gamers, not all, but I would say that the majority of gamers now, because of how influential streaming has been and YouTube and content creators in general, I think it's probably fair to say that almost every gamer, most gamers out there now have one of the two consoles, an Xbox or a PlayStation, and a PC. Is that fair to say?
A console of some sort and a PC.
Yeah. Because what I've been seeing recently is, and the writing is on the wall here, the companies see it too. I mean, Xbox brought Game Pass to PC. There are exclusive PC games for Game Pass on PC. Like, that's absolutely incredible to me. That they were just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's take this whole library and everything that we can. Let's just make it available on PC. I absolutely love that. PlayStation is also coming around, with the ones that you mentioned, but I know it's not exactly a PlayStation exclusive anymore, but Kingdom Hearts coming to PC was big as well, as was Final Fantasy VII Remaster. The intergrade version, nonetheless. So that means, once again, people like me who haven't been able to get their hands on a PS5 yet can still play the intergrade version of Final Fantasy VII Remaster, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe these developers are finally opening their eyes and being like, we need to stop restricting people from our content. Because it's like, if you make something available on PlayStation and PC, that's fine. You're not competing with anybody. You know why? Because there's no competition when it comes to PC. There's no competition. When it comes to the availability, when it comes to just the scale of games that are available on PC, there is no fucking competition. None whatsoever. And I understand we're getting there with graphical changes. Like, there's a lot of features that have come to PC or to consoles with this newest generation where I'm surprised to be seeing these settings in a game.
Yeah, like ray tracing was one that was insane, because first and second generation ray tracing, when it came to real-time ray tracing, it hit performance really hard. Like, really hard. And the fact that you can, it still hurts performance, but not nearly as bad as
even on a PS4
as
Pro
it was before.
Yeah.
So, the fact that I can actually sit down and play, Miles Morales, for example, where I can have ray tracing and it still runs 60 FPS. Granted, it's not going to run in 4K unless I set it up for 4K ray tracing, which then it would be locked to 30. But the fact that you can still do 4K 30 with ray tracing
is insane
on a console for $500 or $400 if you go discless is insane.
Yeah. That's exactly why I'm sitting here saying, not discrediting, PC, but I think it's more common for people to have a PC than to have one or the, both consoles. I think that's safe to say. More than likely, you're going to have one of the consoles and a PC rather than both consoles. And I think these companies are looking at this and they're being like, well, if they have one or the other, making things exclusive for people who don't have our hardware, from my perspective, that just pisses people off. That doesn't make me want to buy your product. That just makes me hate you. I hate to put it in as simple terms of that, but it's just, that's how it is for me. It's locking something exclusively to, the most recent one that I had an issue with, and that's only because it was only an issue until I had both consoles, was the fact that Modern Warfare on the PlayStation 4 had a mode on it that was not available to people on PC or Xbox for an entire year after the game came out. That type of shit is
Especially
ridiculous.
because the previous, well, now I got some for that, but it's especially frustrating because the previous iteration of that game, any modes that PlayStation would get, they would only have for about a month, which is still frustrating, but it was a lot sooner. So then jumping it up to a year.
Yeah, and that was the price that we paid for crossplay, unfortunately.
Yeah, but here's some that'll probably piss you off.
Great.
Then, any timed exclusives that Epic gets, they get for a year before it comes to Steam.
Yeah.
And I personally, like, there's a lot of changes that the Epic launcher would need, or the Epic Store would need to make, that I have not seen yet for me to actually start using their services more often than just, like, for example, Fortnite or the Unreal Engine. Because those are the only two things that I really use Epic Games for.
Right.
Oh, but you can get a bunch of free games. Well, I already have those games on Steam, or they have sales more often for me to actually get it at a discounted price, and not like,
Ooh.
oh yeah, you like there's a lot of things. Plus, like, their exclusive acquisitions on a lot of games that I play on Steam, and then like making it frustrating until they implement their own multiplayer services to make it available to both platforms to be able to play on PC, but two different platforms.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's PC. PC should play with PC. Oh, but it's a different platform, so, maybe not. No, that's fucking frustrating. PC is PC. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, are you... the one thing I'm specifically thinking of while you're talking about this is Minecraft Windows Edition and Minecraft Java version.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing. And the two cannot play together.
Yeah, you can't play together on them.
Yeah, which is
the main
ridiculous.
reason that I'm actually pretty happy that I have the Epic Game Store is, yes, for the free games and shit. But the main reason I'm happy about that is because I've gotten some gems that I may not have ever paid for, but I have them now. Like, I have the entire BioShock collection on PC now.
Nice.
I got that. I'm not a huge fan of the game, but if I ever fucking get a wild hair at my ass and I want to play it, I have Borderlands 3 on PC because of a free Epic game offer. Fucking Dead by Daylight, GTA. Like, these are all games that I haven't paid for. I got these games all free through Epic. And it's like, these are games that I didn't have already. But yeah, so I can completely understand where you're coming from, where it's just like, why would I bother if it's games that I already have?
Or it's just like, okay, so my one of the reasons why I'm so irritated with it is, so I have a handful of games from Battle.net, like, of the obvious, like, Overwatch, Hearthstone, like those games.
Mm-hmm.
I have quite a few EA related games from Origin, which now they're doing crossplay or something or other. Or they have also integrated their library with Steam through EA Play. So that's cool, I guess. But one of the reasons why I'm so upset with Epic is, like, how many games do you think I have in my Steam library right now?
Somewhere,
Not installed, just total
I would
games.
say somewhere in the, like, hundreds, like 500-600, maybe even 1,000.
680.
It's a lot of games.
If I have 680 games in one library that I don't have to worry about for anything else, why would I start up another library?
Yeah.
Like, the only reason I was okay with doing, like, Origin and Steam, I started using around the same time for different stuff. So, like, The Sims, like, for the most part, like, the Sims, or, like, Dead Space, Battlefield, were only available through CD keys to make downloadable through Origin. So, libraries were a lot smaller then. Battle.net I only used for Overwatch initially, and then like slowly got a couple more games, but like I don't play WoW, I don't play like most of those. I stopped playing Call of Duty on PC. Well, honestly, I've stopped playing Call of Duty altogether because I just didn't care for Vanguard, and haven't gone back to Black Ops. I would love to play Warzone every now and again, but nobody really plays that I know at the moment.
See, my whole thing about that, Jesus Christ, we're really opening a can of worms here. My whole thing about like Warzone and Call of Duty, especially with the new Modern Warfare 2 coming out, like I have never been more hesitant to get a Call of Duty game in my fucking life. Like fucking Modern Warfare 2019, I was kind of on the fence about it, but then I had some fucking serious FOMO, fear of missing out, you know. I had some serious FOMO about it, and I ended up fucking picking it up. And
you also had me recording the alpha and the beta because I was all about it.
And then Cold War, I was all in on because I was like, all right, this is fucking Treyarch, fucking doing zombies. Let's fucking go. And it got really stale really fast. So I was like, I really don't think I'm going to do this again. And so I haven't touched Vanguard, not once. I haven't touched Warzone since it first dropped. And that's because for me, I wanted Warzone to be more like Blackout. Like, me and Fish had so much fucking fun with Blackout.
Because we were really obnoxious.
We really were. Like, I've gone back and watched some of that old footage. We were obnoxious as shit. But like, it was a fun experience, you know? And Warzone just didn't do that for me. I don't know if it was the fact that it was on the Modern Warfare engine, or if it was the fact that damage worked completely different. Like, I really couldn't tell you what it was. But yeah, holy shit. All right, we fucking went on a tangent there. Fucking closing remarks. More games need to just be on everything. Tired of exclusivity. Done with it. Just let people play games, you know? Do you have any closing remarks on this?
Just my whole thing to finish up the whole Epic Games thing. Like I don't want to wait a goddamn year just to play a game. Evil Dead the game is a perfect example. I got that on PlayStation because it's cross-play, so I can play with friends who are on PC. But I want to play on PC. I don't want to start up basically a brand new library just to play games with my friends on a platform that we already have.
Yeah.
Just be okay with sending it to Steam or drop the fucking like timed exclusive shit, because I don't want to wait a year to play a game that's now like that could possibly have just died by that point.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I ain't transferring libraries because I've got 700 games on one of them. I just want to stick to the one.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I would like.
Thank you for coming to my TED
At the
Talk.
very least, I think what I would like is just to have a library integration. Like, if you're going to have me have all these games on Epic, let me launch them through Steam, you know? Like, yes, they're still Epic games. They are still acquired through the Epic Games Store. But just at least let me launch them through Steam, where all of my other shit is.
You kind of can, because you can, like, you can add non-Steam game to my library, and you can find the executable. But going through Epic's stuff, the executables
Dude, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It can be very difficult to find, and especially if you go through like the Xbox or the Windows store like on PC, like you can't access it. You can't access anything.
Yeah, no, I made that mistake a while back, but that's a story for another fucking day. But yeah,
so that's it.
That's it.
Stop it,
Yeah,
Epic.
stop it, Epic. Get some help. Fucking stop fucking bandwagoning when it comes to movies. And
Yes, that.
yeah,
that part.
next week, I don't know what we're doing, but I don't know, maybe talking about Star Wars. We didn't really talk about any Star Wars this episode. I'm really proud of us.
No, I still need to catch up on the most recent episode, Kenobi. So I'll do that, and then we'll definitely by that point, like I'm pretty sure
the whole series will be out.
Yeah, exactly. So we could just like fucking
Go
tear it to pieces. I've got some stuff to say about it.
Oh, really? Third episode caught you in a weird way? We'll get to it another time. But yeah, fucking. But yeah, we just gotta end this bitch. So just real quick, stuff to plug. Fucking stream for initiative. Twitch.tv/stream for initiative. That's the number 4. Twitter. I don't know what the Twitter is.
The Twitter for us, I believe, is just for initiative.
Okay.
Or at the 4 initiative. So the number 4
Got
as
it.
well. That'll be where we like give updates. And yeah, I'm excited for what's coming up.
And yeah, fucking me, I'm Comic Crazy Game Time. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Comic Crazy Game Time. Twitter, Comic Crazy GT. Jesus Christ, I really need to memorize my fucking Twitter handle or change it. Yeah, fucking this YouTube channel right here that you are listening to this very podcast on. And yeah, that is going to do it for us here today on the Derailed Podcast, and we will see you guys next week.
Just throw out one more little bullshit thing.